He has had 12 turnover-worthy plays. That is it. 12. As a guy who handles the ball every snap for 18 games. Of course they won that way. Of course it was dramatic. Of course it was almost a little bit silly. Doink! Couldn't have just been a regular field goal. Nope. Had to be the kicker fixing his buzz cut haircut 78 times and then doinking it off the upright. It had to be that way. It also had to be with Jayden Daniels snatching the soul of the opposing defense as if to say, you're so close, but I'm so sorry. You're not as good at this as I am. As if the whole point was to prove just that. That when it's time, in the winning time moments, we've got me and you don't. All you've got, Kalijah Kancey, is my towel. That is a scene, the Kalijah Kancey third down, chasing Jayden Daniels, grabbing his towel as if it's flag football, realizing all he got was the towel, and then getting up as Daniels dives forward for the first down, which allowed them to run the clock all the way down to 3 seconds and thus kick the game-winning field goal with no time remaining. I will remember that scene from Kalijah Kancey for as long as I live, and him with towel in one hand, open hand in the other, putting both on his helmet. Like, I cannot believe that just happened to me. Kalijah, the good news is you had a great game. The good news is you got plenty of company on the wrong end of Jayden Daniels highlights. The bad news is you're on the wrong end of a Jayden Daniels highlight in a game that was a playoff game that you lost in the most Commanders way possible.
Number 2.
Their way of winning a football game also meant the heartbeats of their team had to show up. And boy, did they. Terry McLaurin, involved from the jump. The first third down of the game is the 35-yarder where he just does the thing that he does. He tracks the ball over his shoulder, catches it through contact while diving. He does that better than everybody else in the sport. 35 yards on Jamel Dean. Frankie Louvu had to show up, and he certainly did not have some monster Frankie Louvu game with 3 sacks and batting balls and a pick or anything. There's a couple of key plays along the way, chasing down Baker Mayfield on the sideline, tackling him in a way that I thought at first was definitely a horse collar. Then you see the replay, and you're like, nope, got him clean. That's a legal play. So plays like that, a couple of run stuffs that Louvu had. And then Bobby Wagner, who had what is the obvious most important play of the day, where he recovers that fumble. He's Johnny on the spot because, of course, he is. He always knows what's going on. He's right there to take advantage of a huge miscommunication between Baker Mayfield, Graham Barton, and Jalen McMillan. But also, he sets up another miscommunication, crushing Tampa. It's 2nd and inches, and Baker tries to keep it down on what turned into Tampa's final drive. Stone cold stops Baker. Sets up a third down. They have the miscommunication on the snap count, which I believe is on, I don't know. I've never heard a turbo set hut be anything other than on 1. And so I wonder whether that was on Graham Barton and they were trying to do that to draw the Commanders off sides, or was that a mess up by Baker that when you say turbo, that means snap the ball on set hut. And whatever it is, their snap count got messed up. It winds up being a loss of multiple yards. Tampa then is like, we can't go for it. Let's just tie the game with a field goal. That was with 4:41 remaining. They never saw the ball again.
Number 3.
But of course, the most important piece is Jayden Daniels. In NFL history, there have been 3 instances of a team having 0 turnovers and 0 punts in a game behind a starting quarterback that was a rookie, regular or postseason. 0 turnovers, 0 punts. All 3 were by the Commanders this season with that guy. Week 2, Week 3, and the playoff game last night. Washington, behind Daniels, converted 3 fourth-down attempts, the most in a playoff game in franchise history since at least 2000. Daniels joins Peyton Manning as the second quarterback in NFL history, not rookie, second quarterback, period, in NFL history to lead a team to 0 turnovers and 0 punts in a road playoff game. Daniels' ability to not turn over the football is something that we knew coming out of LSU was pretty special. They've played 18 games at this point. They're 13-5 overall. In 18 games, according to Pro Football Focus, he has had 12 turnover-worthy plays. That is it. 12. As a guy who handles the ball every snap for 18 games, and he played all but what? 3 halves of those 18 games? Second half against Dallas, and he basically missed the entire Carolina game after being hurt on the first series? Like, that is incredible for a rookie. I mean, Peyton Manning loves to joke all the time about how he set the rookie interception record. There have been plenty of good, efficient even, rookie seasons. 12 turnover-worthy plays all season from a quarterback is sensational. To do it as a rookie is unheard of. And now he joins Peyton Manning as the second quarterback ever in the history of the league to lead a team to 0 turnovers, 0 punts in a road playoff game. He does it while being not just efficient, but proficient. He joins Russell Wilson as the second rookie quarterback in NFL history with over 250 passing yards, 2 or more passing touchdowns, and 35 or more rushing yards in a playoff game. He was the Commanders' leading rusher, not only in yardage, but in attempts with his 13. He carried them yesterday. And perhaps the most encouraging thing of all of this is not just how good he is right now, but the growth. Coming out of school, it's like, oh, can he attack the middle of the field? Or is he just a fade ball thrower who's then, if it's the fade's not there, it's either a comeback or he runs it? Nope. Last night, over the middle of the field, between the numbers, from 10 to 20 yards out, so that intermediate range where a lot of big boy quarterbacking happens because you have to make tight window throws through traffic. You have to layer balls over defenders. You have to bend your arm angle around guys. You have to throw with tremendous anticipation. He was 6 for 6 with 2 touchdowns. Yeah, he did everything. Simply put, this season, Jayden Daniels has been historic. This is who he is. He's 1 win away from an almost indisputable place as the best rookie quarterback in the history of the National Football League. Certainly the modern NFL, but I think with what he's done, you make the argument for the whole 100-plus year history of the kit and caboodle. He might already be that, no matter what happens Saturday night in Detroit. But this is history that we are witnessing, and no matter what happens from here on forward, his place is cemented as the best first-year quarterback that, certainly I've ever seen. I think that any of us have ever seen.
Hey, this is DA, and you're listening to The Hoffman Show on the Team 980 and the Odyssey app.